Trent from Camp Creatability. The Wisconsin Board for People with Developmental Disabilities puts out a newsletter every month. The BPDD is experimenting with different ways to share information because not everyone can read. We're helping the BPDD by creating a video of their newsletter every month.
What's the word? Each month, BPDD features a different leader in Wisconsin living with a disability. What's the Word is an opportunity to hear directly from self-advocates about what's important to them. This month's column comes from BPDD board member Sydney Botto. Below is a short excerpt from the letter, but you can read the full piece by clicking the button below. When we think of the pandemic, we think of all the negative things like the deaths and that we couldn't get out and see friends and family and go to events. But many people with disabilities were used to certain social isolation prior to the pandemic. Those with disabilities who can't drive or without public transportation in their area didn't get out much prior to the pandemic. Something magically happened during the start of the pandemic. Suddenly, events and meetings that were previously inaccessible became available over Zoom. People could interact over a video chat format and have accommodations they needed, such as using chat and closed captions. If you or somebody you know would like to be featured in What's the Word, contact Jeremy at jeremy.gunlock@wisconsin.gov. Registration for the 2021 Self-Determination Conference is now open. This year, the conference will be all virtual. With the health and safety of our participants in mind, and with the current rise in COVID cases and variants, we have determined that a virtual conference is the best option for 2021. You're in for a great virtual conference experience. Lots of interactive and networking opportunities. A fabulous conference kit and registration is free. Register today. BPDD's Sparks grants have a new focus on building community and social connections. The 2021 to 2022 grants of $500 to $5,000 are designed to give people with disabilities more social connections by participating in inclusive community activities, help individuals and organizations understand how to provide more inclusive programming, provide community members more opportunities to get to know someone with a disability, improving overall attitudes about people with disabilities. We are looking for groups or individuals who want to be more inclusive of people with disabilities but are not sure how to do it. Traditionally, underserved groups are especially encouraged to apply. Examples include faith-based, civic, and nonprofit groups, school districts, municipalities or local governments such as community recreation programs, family groups, and individuals or groups with strong connections to their community. Examples of what you can do with the grant. Make school clubs and activities accessible to students with disabilities and be intentional about inviting them to participate. Host a community conversation to talk about ways to meaningfully include people with disabilities in community programs. Work on an idea or two over the next year. Find innovative ways to make families with children with disabilities feel welcome with their faith community. Begin the process of creating an accessible park in your community. Applications are due September 10th. Contact Jenny Newgart with questions at jennifer.newgart@wisconsin.gov. Apply to be a partner in policymaking. Partners in Policymaking is now accepting applications. Partners will again be virtual this year, allowing us to keep everyone safe while offering top-notch state and national speakers from the comfort of your own home. Partners is for anyone wanting to develop their advocacy skills around policies and initiatives that support the full participation and inclusion of people with developmental disabilities in all aspects of life. Who can apply? Individuals who are highly motivated to create more inclusive communities and are adults with developmental disabilities, adult siblings of individuals with developmental disabilities, parents, primary caregivers with children and youth with developmental disabilities, ages birth to 21. We are seeking cultural and geographic diversity within the guidelines above. The selection of participants is made by a team of parents, self-advocates, and professionals. What is the cost? Partners is funded by BPDD, which covers all costs associated with the training. If you have questions or would like more information about the Partners in Policymaking program, please contact Jenny Newgart at jennifer.newgart@wisconsin.gov or 608-266-7707. Partners with Business is an initiative passed by the Wisconsin legislature in 2018 to help businesses hire and support workers with disabilities. Through Partners with Business, employers and supported employment service providers use best practice strategies to train and support workers with disabilities. Each year, BPDD selects 5 partners with business guarantees through a request for application process who received guidance to implement partners with business strategies. The 2021 guarantees are listed below along with their project plan. Best Buddies Wisconsin plans to use Partners with Business with job seekers. These best practices will help businesses support their employees with disabilities through natural supports. Best Buddies also plans to empower participating businesses to consider broader hiring initiatives. City of Madison plans to develop a structure to increase employment opportunities for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities through creating positions and then providing natural supports. Staff within the Department of Civil Rights will coordinate these efforts. Disability in Wisconsin is the state's only business-to-business association that promotes disability inclusion in the workplace, marketplace, and supply chain. Disability in Wisconsin plans to finalize and pilot a tool for businesses called A Guide to Creating Internal Supports in the Workplace. This guide provides a structure and the business case for hiring people with disabilities. Disability in Wisconsin will coordinate a companion and activities to disseminate the guide to businesses within disability in and beyond. WI-BPDD is a statewide organization that focuses on advancing integrated employment opportunities and outcomes for people with disabilities. To build capacity among supported employment agencies and professionals, WI-BPDD will pilot a newly developed handbook and training model with interested agencies. These agencies will test the model and work to embed it so that all employment professionals receive ongoing training with best practices. Lakeland Care will support its employment service providers to receive technical assistance and training on the best practices in supported employment that are part of the Partners with Business model. These employment providers will then implement the model with employees with disabilities. A new video is out from the Self-Determination YouTube channel. In this video, Jordan Anderson discusses how using supported decision-making helped him retain many of his rights. Jordan was just hours away from a court hearing that would have awarded his parents' guardianship. In this video, Jordan shares his supported decision-making story and how he almost lost his rights. Jordan and Ashley also talked about a new project they are working on for the Center of Youth Voice, Youth Choice, to train other self-advocates about alternatives to guardianship. Self-determination, you make choices about your life. Self-advocate, you speak up for yourself.